We have got the star of Atonement, Lovely Bones, the big new vampire epic Byzantium. It's Saoirse Ronan. Hey, Saoirse. But you keep yourself in good shape and you pride yourself on your running skills, don't you?
I'm quick.
You believe you have mad skills?
No, I believe I'm mad fast.
Mad fast?
You get that.
You're changing the rules on me on purpose.
No, mad skills, you put an S on it as if there's other things that... We're talking about in particular, we're talking about racing, therefore I'm mad, quick, fast, you know, zoomy. Like, shoo.
So you're mad zooming.
Shoomy.
Filming. And Saoirse, I know, used to run at school. You're pretty sporty as well, aren't you, Saoirse?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I did it when I was younger, so I'm not going to put pressure on myself here.
No,
but yeah, I was pretty fast.
So we were going to see whether you actually wanted to race each other on the show this evening, have an actual running race.
I'm game. If William is, I'm in.
Will, are you zoom?
I am.
Will is am. Maybe there should be something at stake here. I don't know what there should be at stake here. Maybe whoever wins gets to take home a bowler hat.
Or, who do you think's gonna win?
Oh, come on, don't put me on the spot like that.
No, really.
I'll tell you who. Saoirse.
Okay. So if I win, you have to run in your show shirtless around in the circle.
I have to win.
A, you have to win.
Have to win.
B, if you lose, you have to come out and run around there bottomless. I mean, we want to see it anyway, but if you lose, that's the deal.
But
Let's think about it. We'll take a break. Afterwards, I'll be joined by the fabulous Saoirse Ronan. There you go. If you haven't seen it, get out a copy. She's clearly not to be messed with. Please welcome the very talented Saoirse Ronan.
How are you?
Good with that. I'm very well. Come and sit down. Hey, it's great to have you on the show. I'm so excited you're on the show. I'm such a fan of yours.
Oh, thanks for having me. I was looking at this backstage, and it really does look like a hot dog.
Giant hot dog?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of appropriate, because if this was made of sausage, I would eat the whole thing in one sitting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem. You're sure? Hey, so many movies in such a short period of time, and you got nominated for an Oscar when you were 13?
Yeah.
That must have... What a feeling that must have been. How did that must have been an incredible period in your life.
It was. I mean, it's funny looking back on it now, because in a way it was just a bit of a blur, that whole experience, that event and everything. But I think just what I remember from the actual event was just being really hungry, because you know, you're on the red carpet for about 2 hours before you go inside.
Yeah.
And then you're in there for another 2.5 hours, and then by the time you get out, you know, you get a little tiny plate of food at the governor's ball, just a little bit, a little bit. So I was lepping. That's Irish for starving. I was really, really hungry.
What's
by
the
the
word
end.
for starving?
Lepping.
I was lepping?
Yeah, I was lepping.
What does that mean? I mean, I know it means starving, but...
It means you're famished.
But where's it come
basically.
from, lepping?
I don't know.
It's just
we have a funny language at home.
But you still live in Ireland. You could live over here. You could live in Hollywood. I guess most of your work must be presumably in other countries.
Yeah.
And yet you live in Ireland with your family. This is you just want to stay there. You just like it that much.
I mean, I love Ireland. I would like to live in other places as well. I mean, I love London and I love New York as well. I was born in New York, so whenever I go back there, you know, I feel very much at home.
So how old were you when your family moved back to Ireland?
I was about 3.5.
One thing that strikes me when you're talking here, and I was listening to what you were saying, but at the same time it struck me that you've got a much stronger Irish accent than I thought you would have.
Oh, yeah.
And yet in movies that never comes through unless it's needed. So you must be pretty good at... You've mastered the art of hiding that or changing that. Are there accents you can't do, or are there accents which come easier to you?
I'd quite like to be able to do your voice, because I love the way you speak.
Steve.
But I've never done it.
Steve, can you do my voice?
Well, I try to do it, you know, and I certainly try to do it. But of course, it's rather easy, really, isn't it? Because of course you've got the speech impediment that's actually part of what makes you who you are, really.
That doesn't sound anything like me.
I haven't been practicing,
well.
Jonathan, because I'm not that bothered about trying to do your voice.
OK, so your new movie, Saoirse's new movie is called Byzantium. It's not out until the end of May. May the 31st thing comes out, and it's a very different take on the kind of vampire story, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like a more classical vampire story, I think. Like, it's more of a mythical kind of folklore take on it. But we don't have fangs. We're able to walk out into the sunlight. We don't turn into crystal
or bats.
Things. We don't turn into bats. But yeah, it's basically about these two women, and they've been turned into suppliants, we call them. We don't actually refer to ourselves as vampires, just to make sure that we have that little bit of separation there. And their mother and daughter. And so it's just really about their relationship and how they've basically kind of floated through every single era for the last 200 years.
It's got you're in it, and the mother, and this is the key relationship, is played by the very beautiful Gemma Arterton, of course.
Yeah.
And I guess the point is, even though you're about the same age, the vampires don't age, or suppliants don't age in the same way, so that is an issue. It's Byzantium, so it's a very different... It's not a horror film. I wouldn't call it a horror film, would you?
No, I don't think so. It's a bit bloody.
Yeah. And your character, she doesn't attack people sort of like who are unwilling, does she? There's a kind of a twist there about how she chooses the people she feeds off of.
Yeah, well, she's a nice killer. She's a nice vampire. Well, basically what she does is, in order to live with what she has to do so often, is she'll kill people who are ready to die. So she kills a lot of old people, and she'll...
She's like a vampire version of Dignitas.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about the next movie you're about to make. I'm very envious of who you're working with on this, because you're going to work with Ryan Gosling. I know. Ladies, I know.
That's what they all say.
Yeah, and he's just about, one of the best screen actors going at the moment, but also this is a movie that he's writing and directing.
Yeah, he's not actually in it, he's just directing it. So.
Okay. And you've met him before? You know him from the past?
Yeah, well, he was actually supposed to play the dad in Lovely Bones.
That's right.
At one stage.
Now,
so,
I heard why they fell out over that, and it seems... Well, do you know why he didn't...
Talk about it on television.
You're not allowed to talk about it?
Well, what did you hear?
I heard this. This was Peter Jackson had cast Ryan Gosling to play your character's father in The Lovely Bones, a part that was later played by Mark Wahlberg. And I heard that Ryan Gosling had his very own take as to what the character should be, and he went away and he put on a lot of weight. And he changed his hair, and he looked kind of very different. He didn't look like Ryan Gosling. He looked like the Ryan Gosling that you see in Lars and the Real Girl, plus about another 30 pounds.
Right.
I think. And he came back to work, and they went, "Whoa, hey, fatty, this isn't what we wanted, Ryan.
That's what we signed up for.
We wanted pecs and abs, Ryan." And then that's why they parted company. That's what I heard.
OK.
So what did you?
Interesting.
What did you hear?
That's what you heard. I won't. I mean, it's all done now. But basically, I think they all had a different idea of who they wanted Jack Salmon to be, and Ryan had one idea of what he wanted, and I respect that, to be honest, because I think seeing him, especially now and what he's done since then, he's a brilliant actor. And I really think, just from talking to him and just from seeing him on screen, you can tell he takes it very seriously, and he's not really a kind of self-aware actor like a lot of men tend to be, I think.
What do you mean by that, when you say self-aware?
I mean, sometimes you see men on screen and they're aware of how they look. So,
but he must be aware of how he looks. He must know the impact.
I don't know if he is. I mean, when I watch him on screen, what I enjoy most about his performance is that he doesn't seem to care about any of that stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't. You're right. He does change his appearance.
So.
Hey, just before you go, and I know you're going to warm up, I want you to stretch. I want you to get warmed up, so I don't want you to pull anything, because you're going to race will.i.am, who looks actually, to be honest with you, you look like you're taking this quite seriously, Will.
I'm doing my meditation now, trying to get all my muscles aligned so I could just whip that butt in the race.
Will, you haven't said dope once in this interview.
Oh, I heard one dope did come out earlier.
I think he described me as being dope.
He's dope.
Yes.
A dope. It is.
A dope, yeah.
I was very happy to be described as dope.
Yeah. And Francesca, has Will called you dope yet this evening?
No, he hasn't. But on a different note, I want to see your abs.
I think...
Yes, come on.
I think any kind of a gentleman would oblige that kind of request, Will.
Come on, Will.
My abs kind of look like if you peel open a Hershey's chocolate, you see the little squares?
Yeah.
Definitely it's like.
Mine's similar. Mine's like if you peel open a Bounty bar and you just get one nice big... OK, Saoirse, it's been lovely to have you on the show. I'm very excited about the race.
Thanks, Jonathan.
It's coming up.
I'm gonna win for you.
OK,
I'll try.
So we're going to be racing a little bit later on, but... Well, welcome back. Before we get my next guest out, this has just happened this evening, we found out that Saoirse Ronan is pretty handy when it comes to running. will.i.am also fancies himself on the track as well. They've agreed to race each other on the show this evening. At stake is, frankly, my honour, because Will has said that if he wins, I have to run around topless over there. Which, trust me, you don't really want to see, but then you might want to make sure you're recording it, just in case. And if he loses, he said he'll run around bottomless. Outside, we've set up a little running track. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
You feeling confident?
I'm a bit nervous, but yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, we've given you training shoes. You're ready to go there with those on.
I know, they're very light.
Warm up. And Will, you're not worried about the fact that there may be some kind of, like, a little bit of drag involved with the bowler hat. You're going to keep the hat on as well?
So my bowler hat is aerodynamic, and the glasses that I have on right here is protecting the wind from gouging my eyes to the back of my brain, because I'm really fast. I'm trying to tell you
that. You're going to go that fast?
Yeah. And, wow. But my heart is beating quick, because I am a little bit nervous, because I don't want the tailwinds to blow her back that way.
Let's see how it goes.
He's really trying to psych you out there.
I know.
OK, just focus on your running. You ready?
Yeah.
OK, you ready, Will?
What up?
Will, that's the wrong movement, Will.
I'm stretching.
That's not the kind of stretching. That's stretching that Tom Jones taught you, isn't it? I can tell. OK, are you ready, guys?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go! Saoirse, go on! Go on, Saoirse! Yeah! Oh, man! Wow.
Come back here, guys, come back.
OK, that was too close to call with the naked eye. Let's have a look at the action replay. Yeah, Saoirse touched it, yeah! That's right. OK. If you've ever wanted to see will.i.am run around in his pants, then you're in luck this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Will. And Saoirse Ronan, our winner this evening. Congratulations, Saoirse. Great running. OK.